Hello, Borj! Mga Bisaya na amiga.
From Sydney, Australia.
My name is Regine.
And I'm Anne. And welcome to our podcast.
Welcome. Borj. Kumusta naman ka, Borj?
Borj.
Borj, wait. I want to comment. Your hair is so nice.
Thank you. I got bored. You know how I always want a shorter hair, right?
Yes.
But then I get scared because it takes ages for my hair to grow back.
Yeah.
But
I always tell you that, short hair really suits you the best.
Thank
You're
you.
so pretty.
Anyway, so
Kumusta na ka, Borj?
So Borj, I went to the grocery last week and I can't believe how much I paid for my groceries. So it's added so much pressure now that it's almost Christmas and, you have to buy presents for everyone.
Yeah.
So, inflation is real.
Inflation is so real.
How about you, Borj?
I'm broke. Yeah, so broke because, when it's Christmas, then magpadala na sa Tagortan. For the Christmas gift, sending money to the Philippines, a little bit to say thank you and Christmas gift for everyone there because, we're not there just to feel the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit broke. Not a little bit, very broke. So what we decided to have this topic today?
We've decided that for this episode, we're going to talk about cost of living here in Australia. So it was actually one of the questions that came through that Instagram story we posted. And we are going to share about, actual figures or closest estimate to the things that we pay for in terms of our bills, accommodation, food, all that stuff. So,
Maybe a little bit disclaimer. First, me and Anne, we just really lived in one state of Australia, which is Sydney.
Yeah.
So we can't really compare exactly how is it the living costs in other states in Australia. Second, we're also able to live in different suburb.
Yeah.
So which varies as well because how far are you from the city or what is that suburb living costs, so it really varies.
Exactly.
So we can just compare our own experience, which suburb we live, and then all of those personal experience. Yeah.
So let's start with you, Borj.
Okay. So my first moving in when I live in my own is the suburb in Parramatta. So that Parramatta really not really in the city of the Parramatta. It's called North Parramatta. So it's further away, 15 minutes from the city, from the main, central.
From
central
the center
of Parramatta. Yes. So with that, it is an old building and it's a 2-unit, 2-bedroom unit. So we usually pay $385 every fortnight. Every week. No, that is I will say fortnight because it was me and Mary Chris. So $385 for me, $385 for her because every week one each.
I see.
Yeah. So the $385, the only free for that is the unlimited water. You don't have a water bill. So we have a separate internet and separate electricity. So in electricity, normally when we start living for 3 months, because just the two of us, plus that is electric stove as well that we're using. Okay. So it's $150 for 3 months.
Yeah.
More or less like that. And we paid $30 for the internet monthly.
$30?
30.
Oh,
30.
30.
Yeah, $30 every month.
Just for context, utility bills in Australia, like water and energy bills, they usually come every 3 months. So it's a quarterly billing.
Yeah. So that was my first accommodation living cost. How about you, Borj?
So, well, when I was a student, my the first time I paid for accommodation was with a friend of mine as well. So we rented a granny flat.
Oh, it is a granny flat. Yeah.
And that was a brand new granny flat,
nice.
by the way.
Is it with Hannah?
No,
it's
it was Claudette. Yeah. So I lived with them and her boyfriend that time. And a granny flat it's a house, but then they call it granny flat because I'm not sure if this is even correct. But then I'll say what I understood of it. This is a separate house that is built behind a main house. And they call it granny flat because apparently that's,
It's
you know,
flat?
that's where they intend to have their parents. For example, you know, when you start your own family and you want your parents to still be close to you, that's where they intend to
leave.
for their parents to live, like, you know, when they become, well, grandma, granny.
Yeah.
So maybe I could be wrong, but that's what I think. So that house, I think it was
A
around
2-bedroom granny flat.
Yeah, it is. It is a 2-bedroom granny flat, and I really like that because well, it was new and it was.
It is really like a house. It's not like a unit, right?
Yeah, it's really a house.
So it's a single,
like a single detached.
Yeah, single detached. Yeah.
So I think the boyfriend of Claude at that time actually shouldered a bigger part of that rent
Because he owns bigger.
because he was earning more compared to the both of us. So I paid about 125 per week. Or
Oh, nice. 240 only.
Yeah.
Fortnightly.
So it was so good. And then I moved with Hannah as well in that unit. It's about the same
in
price.
Claudette one, you were, what suburb were you?
I was living in
Blacktown.
Blacktown.
Yeah, okay.
So
Is it near the station?
quite close.
Like
I would say a walking
walking
distance, but like, you know, it will be a long walk.
like 15 minutes walk.
30 minutes walk.
Yeah. From
but then
the
it was very
station
close. Yeah,
to
from
the
the
granny
station
flat.
to the granny flat. But then it's like the house is also close to the bus stop. So that's
okay.
also one thing places here would consider whenever they price accommodation, how accessible it is with the public transport.
Yes, that's right. And with the other accommodation you had, it's still the same suburb. It's Blacktown.
Yeah, still in Blacktown. This one's much closer to the station.
Yeah.
And that was a unit, still a 2-bedroom unit, but yeah, it had 2 bathrooms. So Hannah had their own, and I had my own as well, which is anyway the main bathroom.
Yep.
And I think, if my memory serves me right, it was about $250 or
Every week.
Every week, which is
Not too bad.
really good.
Yeah. And then for your utilities during the time, it's still divided by 3, right? For
I
you?
can't remember paying any water bill.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe
Electricity?
it was because water bill. I've noticed here, Borj, it's so cheap.
Yeah,
it's
it
so
is.
cheap that you can't even you forget
Notice.
about it. You won't notice
Yeah.
it. With electricity, I think we split it between or among the 3 of us that time.
Yeah.
So-
I'm not too sure, but what I observe is that if you live in a unit, like, you know, a build apartments or something like that, usually the water is for free. Like, you don't pay
I know,
for the
right?
water. Yeah.
That's what I've noticed too.
So you just pay for the electricity.
Mm.
But if you live in the house or townhouses, then that's when you pay water bill now started. Yeah.
Like your current situation now, so you are paying
Everything. So currently, Michael bought this house way back 2019 in a new suburb. We can mention the suburb, right?
we'll just say Southwest Sydney.
Southwest Sydney. Yeah. So so it's a new suburb. So way back then, having a house, it's like you pay for the mortgage. After mortgage, you have also to pay for the the council bill. So I didn't realize, Borj, until we got this house that just for the beans. You have to pay for the beans.
Like, what do you mean when the first time you get them?
It's like for the council bill at the moment, it's like every quarterly as well. We pay like between 300 to 350 for the council bill, which means like collecting your rubbish bins, doing the mowing for the council.
Yeah.
And then when you purchase a house, you're obliged to have 3 beans, which is the green, red, and yellow. Yeah. And each bean per liter, like the smaller one, is I think 120 or 80. Maybe it's 80, 120, and 240. And then that equivalent to a different prices. So it's like maybe the 80, I'm not too sure how much, but I know that, like, for example, if you get the 80 liter, which is the smaller bean, it's like between 80 to 100.
Wow.
Yeah. And then for the medium one, which is 120 liter, it's like between 100, 150. And then it goes up when you do the biggest
And
bean.
this is just for the general bin, right?
Yes.
Because the recycling and the green,
It-
like the organic bin would be
each-
free.
I think that's only the green one is free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you have to buy the red and the yellow and then the green.
Wow.
I think it also varies to any suburb because when we used to live in the other suburb, some of them doesn't have they have a green bean, but it's different for the food. Like, they have a bean for the food as well,
What
like food
color is that?
leftover food. So in somewhere in West Penrith area, they have this separate segregation that you cannot mix your general beans
With your
to
food
your
scraps.
food scraps. Yeah, so they have a different plastic bags and a different bean for the.
But where do you chuck
scraps.
the food scrap? Like,
So
does it
they
have
will
its
give
own
you-
bin?
Yes. So the council will give you. I'm not too sure if it's for free because it was Michael's dad who lives there. So I can really imagine. I mean, remember that we have a separate, like, a bag that we always separate bin in our kitchen where the food scrap is and a different bin for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
in
color
here,
is the bin?
what is it?
It's like blue?
The plastic is green.
It comes with its
With a
own
green plastic. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it has a green plastic. And then I think, I'm not too sure. I forgot now because I get confused. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, I can't remember, but I know it's a different with the scrap. Because here, I know the green is for the grass.
Yeah.
And the
Yellow's for the recycling.
yellow for recycle. Yeah. So there it's different. Yeah, because you can't put in. I know, Borj. I forgot what's the bin.
Really,
Oh,
Borj?
yeah, that's one thing. And then so in here, so we pay for the electricity bill, and then so practically in this house, when I watched this Netflix thing, I told you in the How to Be Rich, you know, this documentary series, like if owning a house, the minimum or the least expense that you will do is really your mortgage only because the rest will be more than the mortgage. Yeah. So like, for example, before we're still so eager to maintain our lawn. So we do mow the lawn. But then when it's too hot, when it's too cold, and when you're too lazy, so we ask someone to
someone
come
to-
here. Yeah.
Really?
Every month we pay him $60 to maintain our lawn.
Wow.
Yes,
That's
'cause-
what rich people do.
Borj, maybe because the disadvantage is that we live in a corner block. So it's not just we maintain our parameter, but outside of this one too is ours.
Right.
So we we
Like
have a
the-
fence.
Yeah.
So next to the fence, like beyond the fence, it's still
There's
our
a patch
thing.
of grass there. So you
Yeah,
still
that
have
is
to-
still ours.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then one time when the grass was dying, and then the council write us a letter and warning.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, because it's a corner block. You have to maintain the neatness.
Oh, my goodness.
You know the
What a hassle. So the council
because when
sent you a letter.
like they will just tell you that you have to maintain it because it's like including in your occupancy, something like that.
They should just
It's
maintain it as well.
complicated. Yeah. How about you, Borj? How about your living expense? You're living in a townhouse, which is
Yes.
near in the station.
So we live in a 3-bedroom townhouse, and it's very close to everything. Like, well, not super close to the station, but a good walking distance to the station.
I think it's just like 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very convenient for me when I didn't I didn't
Drive.
drive, and for everyone else in the family as well, because they can just walk to the station, and it's close to the school. It's close to the shops. Like here in Australia, there's no sari-sari store.
Yes.
Like those little convenience stores just within the neighborhood.
Yes.
Unlike Philippines, wherein if you need some, for example, if you need some soy sauce, you can just go
And then
next
buy
door and
a
block
pocket of
and
small soy sauce.
buy a packet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we have to go to the grocery store. lucky for us, we're very close to these, to Asian shops, to
Yes.
Filipino stores. But then, yeah, the good thing about us, we don't pay any of those things that Jade mentioned. Like, all we need to worry about is our rent, our rental payment. And rent here is always it's priced every weekly. And for us, it's 420
Every week.
every week.
Yeah. So that's 840 fortnightly.
840 fortnightly.
For 3-bedroom townhouse,
Yes.
which is near to this station.
But take note, we're in Southwest Sydney, and we're quite far from Sydney as well, or from Central, the main city. So it takes an hour to get from our place to Sydney, which means, if you're farther away from the Sydney, you'll find cheaper prices in terms of, housing.
Yes.
The thing as well is actually our rent is, I believe, the cheapest in the area now.
Oh,
so
nice.
Every time we look for, because, our house is old, and sometimes we really loved it. But then we got to a point, because we've been living there for 3 years now.
3 years
or
now,
4
Borj.
years, I think. Yeah. And we got to the point where there's too many of us now, and our space got smaller, because
I think it's more than 4 years, Borj, because we moved in here 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
So we moved 18.
Yeah.
19,
So
21,
65 years for you.
5? Is it 5?
So if you move 18, 19, 21,
20,
23, 5.
Oh, really? 5?
See?
Gosh. Yeah, no wonder we got sick of So we wanted to change, right? And we kept, so every time our lease comes up, so we're under contract, and it usually comes up every December.
Yes.
So every time we get nearer to that stage, we always look for houses. And our requirements are, it has to be 3 bedrooms or more.
Yep.
And at least close to a public transport. Doesn't have to be station. At least there's a bus stop nearby. And Borj, we can't find anything that's below. Any cheaper than what we have.
You know how the inflation rate and then how the rent also rises? Did you have the same exact amount since you moved in that house?
Very minimal increase. So initially our rent was $375. That was about we had that amount for 3 years, I think, or 4 years. 3 years, I would say. And then it increased to $20 more. And then last time when we renewed our contract, it was $420. So still cheap compared to the houses around the area of where we're living. Because, we tried looking once, and it was about $520, $580, and that's only a unit sometimes.
Yes, it's not. See, can you see the comparison? So way back 2018, when Anne and Joy moved into that house, they just paid for $375. Now it's $420.
I know,
just for 5 years.
And we're dreading that it's gonna increase this year again, because our lease is coming up, it's about to expire. I mean. And that's the time landlord can raise their rent if they want to.
Also, just for them to have a little bit information, living near the city, because before as well, when we started living together with Michael, we used to live in an apartment in Wentworth Point, which is 15-20 minutes away from the city.
Is it drive?
By train.
Wow.
So,
and it's a very nice place.
Yeah.
By the
So
way.
it was with a water view, because it has is that a river or something like that?
It's I think it's the Parramatta River.
Yeah. So it's a water view, and then all of that suburb. Actually, that suburb was meant to be for the Olympics. You know when Australia.
So it's within the Olympic
village.
Village.
So and then there was apartment coming up. So in that we live in the first oldest building in that suburb, and then we are in the ground floor, because apparently, I'm not too sure, but if they goes higher floor, your rent goes high too.
Oh, really?
Because if you're the highest with the views,
Yeah.
so it's higher. So we're in the ground floor, and with that, way back 2018 when we leave there, we pay $560 every week.
And this is a 2 bedroom.
2 bedroom only.
Unit.
Yeah, 2 bedroom, but with 2 bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the open living, like it is no division between your living room and your kitchen and your dining. It's just an open, and then all of your furniture is just dividing it, everything. Yeah. So yeah, it's 560, and then we had free what do you call it? We have free water as well. Only the bills, but the catch there is we have only one parking space.
Yeah, that's the thing though. That's the thing about units. You only get one parking space, car space, and then if you have another car, you'd have to find a spot on the street.
And you can't even go to the visitors, because one time when we're trying to park in the visitors, so the Strata is the one who maintaining every unit here in Australia or in Sydney. So they will give you a letter and saying, we've observed your car that's been parking here, and this is for visitors. So supposedly no like tenant parking in a visitor area. So yeah. And then what else, Borj? Your expenses here. Your car. You have your also car loan.
Yeah, so
I have.
when we were paying it, it's Joy who pays the car loan. So I actually don't know much, but I think it's 300 something, 385 per fortnight.
Yeah, same.
And that's 5 years.
So that's the difference. So for me, it's 299, which is I really round off with 300, and this is for 5 years payment as well.
Oh,
yeah.
How come you pay less?
I pay less because I did a down payment.
You did
the down payment. So before, the first car ever I have is I cash it out. So I didn't feel the car loan. And then when I decided to have a brand new car, then that's when. So in here as well in Australia, is it easy to take car loans, Borj, you think?
I guess so.
Yes.
Yeah, easier than Philippines, because I think in Philippines you need to have down payment.
Yes, and you have to have this all pay sleeve, COE, certificate of employment.
I mean, they still ask for those things.
Only like for 2 latest pay slips.
But what they only just need to see is that you've got constant income coming in.
Yes, that's right.
In Philippines, I think they need to see a certain amount going in your account.
That's right. Yeah. And also, we also have a credit score here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? I can't really discuss with a credit score. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So what I know is just like if you, for example, you have to have a loan so that you have a credit score, because it's like they wouldn't have an history of your credits if you didn't have a loan. But then every time,
not necessarily a loan, or for example, like something that you constantly pay.
Yeah.
Like, for example, your phone bill. Like with the network providers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I also observe is that if you take a loan here in Australia, you should always have a good credit score. And then one thing that affects your credit score is inquiring loans.
Yeah.
Even for like Optus, or I mean like for provider.
Yes.
So for example, this year my phone had like the phone plan is like finished or done. Then I'm planning to get a new iPhone, the latest new iPhone, and then they have to do my credit check, and then it will reflect in your credit check, and then your score will go down. So
that's
even if
true.
it was just an inquiry, even if you wouldn't get approved with the loan or you took the loan, still it affects the
That's very annoying, right?
Yeah,
because you didn't even take any money.
And one thing of our is phone bill, right?
Oh yeah, phone bill. How much do you pay?
So I tried prepaid. I tried also postpaid. So prepaid before is like I consume only like $30 every like 28 days.
And that's unlimited data?
Unlimited phone and call, text, but it's just like 40 gigs of data.
Okay.
Yeah. But now I'm paying $60 just for my phone, my what do you call it? Network plan, like my SIM plan.
Yep.
And then 100 for my phone because I took the new phone, and then I want to pay it for 24 months only. So every month, 2 years. 2 years. So every month I pay my phone bill 150.
150.
Yeah. How much yours, Borj?
So thankfully, I'm so glad, Borj, I'm about to finish with this. I did realize that's one thing.
Yeah.
I was trying to get some mobile plans, right? And I didn't realize that, even inquiring for mobile plans, when these providers check everything for you, it also affects your credit score. So I don't know how I got to this other provider. I think I was after a certain phone, and the one that I usually go to didn't had it in stock. So I went to this other network provider, and I forgot that I actually signed up for 36 months.
Okay.
And oh my God,
Locked
Borj,
in?
well, it's not locked in.
Like you can't
thankfully.
cancel.
I can, but I just have to pay for the phone outright if I decide to cancel. But then my point is, oh my God, I don't want to pay any phone bills anymore for like a long period of time, because by the time the plan ends, your phone depreciates also.
The price.
Like, hindi nakaganahan.
I know, that's why I learned the first time I came here, Borj, when I was a student, then I took a plan. Wow, I was confident. I was a student, but then I took a plan. I did the 36 months, because if 36 months, it wouldn't hit you so hard, because it's just like a minimum amount, right? Like maybe $40, something like that. And then I realized, oh, the new late phone comes out, but you're still not finished.
Yeah, you're still not
paying
finished
your
with
old phone.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's why I do 24 months.
So I
now.
had 30. Yeah, it's 24 months is perfect.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be changing phone every year either.
Yes.
But then good
every
to like every 2 months.
Yeah,
2 years.
2 years,
That's
then
I think that's
good.
fair.
Yeah.
Reasonable. So for me, for 36 months, I usually pay 121.
121 for 36 months.
Yes. So that's
See,
with my
just
phone and unlimited data.
Little difference.
Exactly.
Of having the unlimited data.
Yeah.
No, my 60 is just 200 gig. Yeah.
Or
Not
I don't
unlimited.
know or maybe I just had 20. I just had 20 gig.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. One as well expense that I have is my health insurance. Do you have health insurance? Yeah.
Right. It's private health. I mean, normally here in Australia, we have
Medicare.
our Medicare, which is the health insurance for everyone here in Australia for permanent residents and citizens. But it doesn't cover everything in terms of your dental health and doesn't take you obviously to private hospitals. And the difference as well is, for example, if you need to be hospitalized, sometimes you would be, or let's say you need to have a surgery, right? Or let's say it's just elective. You have to wait because there's many patients in the queue for public hospitals.
Yes.
Whereas if you have a private health fund, like private health insurance, you can just go in anytime and have it scheduled.
That's right. Yeah.
As soon as possible.
So when I was a student here, it's really obliged that to have health insurance covered through the years that you will be studying. Then when I did my temporary residence, I didn't really change it up until like 2 years ago when I decided, I can't pay it because it's like 110 every fourth night, Borj,
Just
for
a single cover.
Yeah, because I include the pregnancy, which is another extra, and then with the like dental, optical, physio, I have 5 extras. I don't know, something like that. And then I decided, oh my God, 110 is so expensive. So I eliminated the pregnancy and some other stuff. And then it comes up with a payment of 90 every fortnight. And then now when I get married this year, I decided, oh my God, I have to do my pregnancy again because I just want to have a private, insurance. And for this, you have to wait for 12 months before you will become insured again. Even if I was like with this kind of plan before with insurance.
Really?
So it didn't count. It goes back to 0 and then they can't waive it out. I have to be back with the 12 months. So more or less I pay, it's a single only. So me and my husband has a different individual health insurances. So for me with pregnancy with 5 extra, which is optical, dental, major dental, physio, and I forgot what is the 5th one. There should be a 5th one.
Maybe it's the
I forgot.
alternative therapies, like you'll have the massage.
Something like
do you have
that. remedial. Is it remedial
Yeah.
massage? Yeah, something like that. I have 5, and then, but this one only, like, for example, for my optical, it covers only 250
Yeah, there's a
yearly.
limit.
Yeah, limit 600 for dental. I didn't even realize, Borj, that dental and major dental are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, dental, it's just like cleaning and then
It helped me a lot
X-rays.
actually when I had my wisdom
Wisdom
tooth,
removed.
wisdom
That's a
teeth, all
major,
four
major dental,
removed.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
How much did you
without it,
pay?
I would have paid about, I think, 2 grand or more
Yeah.
without the private insurance.
Yeah.
But with the private insurance, I think I just ended up paying 1,700.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, or
You know, that's also what I appreciate here in Australia, Borj, because when Michael needs to go for procedure, like for example, endoscopy or colonoscopy, the procedure itself is for free. I mean, like 80%, what is it called? Like 80% covered by the insurance and the rest is in Medicare. But the catch there is that because it needs a specialist, so you have to pay for the professional fee.
yes,
Yeah, for
yes.
that specialist.
Unfortunately, specialist is not
very
covered
expensive.
for
Yeah.
Medicare and even for private health unless you have another like this level, this
Yeah,
tier.
yeah.
You get the premium coverage, I would say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I have to about the pregnancy because I heard I have a friend that she was saying that she was in private health. She has a private insurance, so she's in a private client patient, and then so at the end of the day, she have to pay for the PF professional fee for the OB, which is 10 grand.
Oh, what?
Yeah, no, say so. There's no point of having an
The
insurance.
insurance.
Yeah, but I think it varies in what health insurance you have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
so
see.
it's so funny, right? Like,
Do you think it will be cheaper if you just have a couple coverage?
no, because Borj, the pregnancy is really in the premium ones.
Oh,
You can't really have it in the other sections of the health insurance.
Yeah.
How much do you pay?
So we got a couple. I think we pay about 100 something plus for. I can't remember the exact amount because it just gets debited.
Fortnightly.
Yeah, it's
Yours
fortnightly.
is cheaper.
Actually, I want to check.
Yeah, you can. You want to grab your phone and check
So
on it.
let's
Yeah.
see.
I think because Borj, this health insurance that I have is since when the usual student health insurance, the green one, that's my health insurance. Yours is
Yes.
the blue one. I guess it's
No,
called blue.
no.
Oh,
We
it's
got the
not letter-
red. We got the red.
Oh, you change?
Yeah.
Remember you mentioned it to me. You've got the blue one thing, health insurance.
That's what my insurance was when I was a student.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
So I think for all who lives in Australia and knows what was the color, because I'm not too sure if we can mention the health insurance.
I wouldn't
though.
maybe.
Yeah, so it's just a bit
but,
color coding.
I just found out about our
Yeah, you have to
insurance.
introduce me with that insurance. The red
So-
one. Can I see what is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, that one.
I think this is every fortnight.
There was a pause there because I was looking at Anne's
10.
phone.
Yeah, so this is paid every fortnight and we pay. And by the way, actually this includes myself, Joy and friends.
Oh,
So there's
nice.
three
It's a
of us.
family. It's
don't-
not couple.
Borj, that's what I asked them. Does this become a family coverage now? And they said, no, it's just, we just added your son and, it's still a couple. But then we have the same benefits, all three of
Yeah.
us. So it is 124
That's
every
really
fortnight.
cheap,
I told
Borj.
you. But no, I'm not sure if this even includes
The
pregnancy.
pregnancy, yeah.
So
I will see.
heard that it's the
I just changed
pregnancy
it,
that
my
makes
thing.
these coverage really expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, so my
But
god, living
look,
expenses
you
is
know,
expensive.
this private insurance is not really mandatory for, unless if you're an international student.
Yeah.
It's not mandatory for citizens and, other residents here.
But of course, I can also salute, for sure as well that Australia has really one of the best healthcare. Like even if you're in a public hospital, it doesn't mean that murag sa Pilipinas na mamatay na ka. No, they're really good at it. It's just like needs priority, and then it takes time. It's not like the ASAP
Yeah.
thing when you're in a public, but they still cater the same thing. The same doctor comes into the public, into the
Yeah.
private.
Yes, exactly.
It's just like they prioritize more the private ones.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're usually next to each other as well. These hospitals.
Yeah, they are. And one thing as well in the expensive, because you have a car, right? So aside from the having the car loan, you also have the car insurance.
Oh yes, that's why. Like, I think one of the friend people that I know, they were looking into getting a car, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt that they can afford the car. Anyone can buy a car here if you actually work hard, because you can buy it right away. What's that? Drive away price.
Yeah.
Or if you can get a loan, but then it's actually the registration and the insurance that will hit you, because it's about, let's say, 2,000 more on top of the amount you paid for your car.
Yes. So for example, me, I got my license here in Australia way back 2019. So it also varies of how many years you've been driving, because they always ask that in the insurance.
Yes.
And if you're a professional, if you have a professional license or you have a P plata, so usually me as a full license driving since 2019, my car insurance really runs between 1,800 or 2,000 for yearly.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about the same price.
And that's
for
really
us.
goodbye. Like you didn't use it for the whole year, but goodbye 2,000.
I know. You need to have it as well. Yeah. You're
Because you
required
never
to.
know.
Let's talk about grocery. Well, for car insurance,
Yes.
it's about the same, but I really don't know the exact figure, because whenever we
Joy?
do that, I leave it for Joy. I leave it with Joy.
Yes.
So, watch
Yeah.
maganda.
And aside from the car insurance, one more about car is car registration.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like 400 to 500.
Actually, speaking of car, how about
Yes.
the petrol?
Petrol. So for me, because my where I work and from the house, it will run 50 Ks. So usually every week I put $100 of petrol
Every week?
every week, Borj.
Full tank.
Full tank, yeah.
Really?
Whether it's
And is this the...
also it's whether full tank or not, because it depends of the petrol price.
Also, your budget is
It's just
this amount
100,
regardless.
Yes,
Right.
regardless.
And it's
every week.
unsa ning fuel, like, is it-
98 the
98?
diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Are you?
Is it no unleaded? Sorry.
So are you getting the premium?
Yeah, the premium. Because
Why don't you get the 95?
Because
I mean,
where I do the thing, though it's 91 and 98, right? There's
like
the two
there's
options.
Ethan,
Yeah.
right? Don't get the Ethan.
Yeah, so
The next one.
in the one where I used to put my thing,
Yeah.
that's the 98.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, in Costco.
And, yeah.
In Costco, we really put as a couple, like me and Michael, we really go to Costco. We're a member of Costco for petrol because 98 there is a cheaper
It's
price.
almost like getting the
Yeah,
95 in other
yes.
stations. Ah, I see.
So I always
I got
go
you
to
now.
98.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 100. How much? Because Joy is just like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, so Joy's work is only like a 15-minute drive from
Plus
our
you are
place.
working from home.
Yeah. So we don't really travel far.
Yeah.
So our petrol would be, I think the other day she just filled the car. It is 110, and that will last us for 2 weeks.
Full tank.
Yeah, full
Yeah,
tank. But we
see?
usually get the 95. We don't get the 98.
Yeah.
Because we go to Costco, but it's quite of a trip for us to
Yeah.
go there if that's only what we need.
Yes.
And the queue there is crazy.
so you go to
Borj.
BP?
No, we
Metro.
don't go to BP. We look for the cheapest one in the area.
Yeah. So for me, because it's along the way to work,
Yeah,
home,
it makes
so-
sense for you to drop by
Yeah.
there.
For the grocery, me and Michael will always have a budget of like 300 to 500 fortnightly for the grocery.
Up to 500? Borj, dakuan yung grocery. Uy.
The Gino. Then you know what, Borj? That doesn't really cover to when we go eat out or have a takeaway for the day.
Yeah.
Busog kayo.
So you buy all these stuff and then you
eat
end up eating out. Really?
Yeah, because Borj, I don't know. And then, so
And like there's three of them in the house.
yeah. And then we come up with this strategy like, how about we just do it like we buy every day what we need for the dinner. You know, like that thing. And then sometimes when we do that as well, Borj, it's like, oh, we miss this one, we don't have anything. So, like that thing.
So
how much yours?
I allocate the budget is 300 every fortnight. It goes over a little bit, but I try not to go over 400 every fortnight. But then just like you, sometimes we do random we have random runs to the grocery.
Yes.
It's actually what gets you to spend more because you only need one thing and then you see other stuff in the grocery.
Yes.
You end up paying more. So because before we were like that, Borj, we would just go to the grocery whenever we need something or whatever we decide to cook for that day. So we'll just get it from there.
So what do you do now?
So we always schedule it on my pay week because I'm the one assigned for groceries, so it falls on my pay week.
So you just basically buy the usual like oil, rice.
Well, before we go, I really make a grocery list. So I always check. I always check our cupboards, check our freezer if there's anything we need that I need to buy. So
I think actually that's one thing that me and him trying to work out things out yet, because I always tell him this is really a big budget for grocery and we just eat once a day because we are out to work every day. Like we don't have breakfast or lunch because we have it in the work.
Yeah.
And then we only have dinner and then that's how we cost. So
how
costly.
often do you guys eat out?
How often? Now, when inflation rate started, so we don't eat out much now, Borj, and we don't also do takeaways.
Yeah.
So maybe for 2 months now, we really started to cook. Yeah, cooking.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Maybe
find-
Borj, for the whole month, maybe we didn't go out for dinner or anything.
Oh,
I
really?
guess so, if I'm
Wow.
right. But we also have like macas now every now and
like
then.
the little fast food.
And in macas, for
purchases.
example, you buy macas and 3 of us here in the house, it costs you $60 right away.
Yeah.
So
It depends on what you guys get.
it's like a Big Mac and quarter pounder and then meal. Yeah, just like that. So too much.
Yeah, I think you should review your grocery size.
should.
But then that's the thing as well.
Yeah.
So we allocate about 300 max 400. Like dako na jud kay na sakit na akong buot ana. And there's 4 or 5 of us in the house.
Yeah.
So sometimes we buy groceries, but then we end up eating out as well.
Yeah, same.
So it depends how many of you are in the house, really. And it depends on what you get as well. Because if you get those brandless stuff, I think you can even reduce that grocery amount even lower.
Borj, one quick question. So when you do grocery, do you really go to the shop and then buy, or you do online?
No, I go to the shop. Why do you do online grocery shopping?
Blame it to Michael.
Why?
He does that. I don't know. But I
So
always
you
tell
just
him
click and
click and collect. Yeah, he does that. But for me, if I like what I said before, like when I do it like every day when I go to shop, I really want to go to the shop because there's really like sales, like like quick sale that you can just grab when you're in the shop rather than online.
Well, I really wanted to do click and collect, right? I want to do online grocery shopping. But then you know me, I'm very lagan. I want to be out,
So for him, he always do click and collect.
It saves time, actually.
It saves time, yeah.
But it saves time because, it can take you hours to go around every aisle. But then I find it such a hassle to browse through the items.
Yes.
It's different when you're in the aisle.
That's right. So, Borj, just to sum up with this budgeting, what was their lesson learned?
Mahal na ron.
Can you say, like, I have a question because everybody always asks me this. Like, do you feel, Borj, that living in Australia is just like living like paycheck to paycheck. Like you're just living in your at the same cost. How do you say it? With
It
your
really
life
depends.
expenses?
I would say because
It depends.
you know you have to live within your means as well.
Yes. Mm.
If you can afford that, then yeah, just go for it. But then if
Yes.
it means that you have to starve for the next few days, why would you?
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's really your choice.
Yeah.
Because honestly, here, even if you know, let's say gamay kag sweldo, even if you earn less,
Yes.
you can still get decent food. It's
Mm.
whether you cook or
Yes.
whether you just get the, you know, maybe the cheapest one of the menu. It's still decent food.
Yes.
Unlike in Philippines, if I would compare it there,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how much you earn, it's still so hard to feed a family.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and for me, I guess just same with Anne. It's like good budgeting only. That's the
Yeah,
key.
yeah.
Like you just have to weigh things. Like if this fortnight you have this bigger expense, then compensate it with the other one where you can lessen.
actually, I have a question. Just last
Yes.
question. So you
Kung
know
baan
how we
kita
were
ding
so
last
broke
question?
last time when we
Yes.
were students.
Yes.
What was the lowest amount of money you had left on your bank account?
Borj, no joke. It really happened to me when I was a student that, for example, every Wednesday is the payday, right?
Mm.
But usually, it depends on the bank. It comes into your bank at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Right. So I was really zero balance, and then I don't have any food. I have to go grocery, and then luckily in Australia, if you're a student, they give you
Overdraft.
Overdraft. Then with
So,
no penalty.
yes.
Yeah. So I was just praying like, Lord, may tamo work jud niya." Then I just tap it and then it did. And then I
Yeah.
just hope and pray that, I wouldn't have penalty. How do you call
yeah.
overdraft fee?
Fee.
Yeah. So it didn't. It didn't really because I
That's
was
the
a
thing.
student. Then and then Borj, funny thing, when I become a permanent resident, I said, okay, let me try. But this time Borj at
Decline.
9 p.m. No, it's still overdraft. But at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., it will give you deduction of $15 for the overdraft fee.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
So one thing, no, I didn't pay. No, this is what I remember now. So what happened was, when you have an auto debit and then you didn't do the exact amount because you know how you have a smart and then a net savings.
Yeah.
And then what I do is like, I put only $100 in the smart and then I do the net savings the rest of it. And I didn't know that it's like 130, so it's like looking of $30, and then they auto debited it, and then the next morning when I check, I have to pay $15 for the overdraft fee. How about you, Borj?
Negative 200.
Oh my God, what's that? 200 is for food?
Those tuition.
Oh,
See, I told you it's very impulsive before, but then life was so fun.
No. Like when you say negative, so it was just pending, so that it went through, or
no,
like
it's overdraft. Yeah, that's the maximum you can get for overdraft. I maxed it all.
Yeah, and maybe for the next episode, or like we find an episode where we see buy now. What is it?
Yeah, buy now, utang late,
or the expert
utang now, pay later, or something like that.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of mathematics for this expenses.
And I think that takes us to the end of our podcast. Sige.
Amping Borj. Whoa, it's
Borj
48.
Sige, Roy.